What's the first thing like that you think about when you hear the word loneliness?
I would definitely say relationships. That's the first thing that comes to mind when I hear the word loneliness.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like in a society, the media kind of portrays relationships as like you need to be in one in order to not be lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether, I mean, it's a friendship or with a significant other, but definitely they promote it way too much. And for me personally, makes me feel a certain way, like, oh, well, I don't have anyone, or maybe I'm just not enough for those people on social media. So definitely that.
What kind of relationship are you like longing for most right now?
I mean, ever like growing up, I've always longed for family. Like, my parents and I, pretty dysfunctional family growing up, so I always longed for having a family. And yeah, family, and then relationship-wise with a significant other, because again, like, that's all I see around me, so like, oh, that's what I need to have, but God has other plans, so it's just waiting on him.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like for me, of course, like having my relationship with God first, and I feel like having a significant other. I feel like that's a really big one because like you see it on the media, you see it like with your friends, and sometimes it can be like, oh, like, I kind of want that, but God, it's all in God's timing, of course.
Have you guys ever struggled with bitterness and mixed in with your loneliness and not having what you wanted?
In those times where you do feel lonely, where you do feel really sad about like not having that specific relationship that you want, I feel like just praying and just really trusting in God that He has a good plan for you and that you just need to trust in it.
It has gotten to me too, especially anger. Especially when you're trying to reach out to a family member or a person and you want to, build that relationship, and they just kind of, again, put you to the side or just ignore you, and you kind of feel invisible. That's where like the anger of feeling alone too comes in. But the great thing about God and His word is that He says that we are loved, we are enough, we are His children, and we are the light of the world, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that you can long too much if you don't have it right now?
I think people can get really suffocated in the idea of wanting something really bad that they forget why they want it, and they'll do anything to get what they want. There's always like a certain limit where it's like you just have to like now let God work, and you did your part, you prayed, now just wait for time to tell you when it's the time that it's going to be for you, and just again wait on His timing, because when we try to do things our way, it always goes left.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's funny, because then God again is like, okay, I'm in control, you're not. So
Yeah, again, I feel like just waiting on God's timing and not rushing into anything, because like you don't want to like end up getting more hurt or feeling more lonely because that relationship that you thought you wanted and then you got into didn't work. You don't want to have that like have a worse effect on you. Yeah.
It's better to wait for God to place you where you need to be instead of being temporarily happy. That's what, yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about loneliness. What do you think the solution is if someone is like feeling lonely right now? Like, what should they do about that?
Definitely, one, reach out to someone who, or even just going to your local church, asking for help, to be actually open and vulnerable. Because if you're not vulnerable, people don't know what you're going through, and I think that's the first step of being vulnerable with someone. And you know what, I'm going through this, I'm having suicidal thoughts, or I feel depressed, I have a lot of anxiety, I feel alone, whatever it may be. The first step is to accept the things that you're going through and be vulnerable about it with someone else, and just go on from there.
What if there isn't a church or they're not Christian?
I would definitely say the Bible. Even on YouTube, you can see videos, God's everywhere. So that's the cool thing about, today, that it's not limited to one place only, like the church. So yeah, I would definitely like, even on your phone, you know, they have the Bible app on your phone now, which you can download. So yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. Definitely, for me, it would be praying. Like, if you feel really lonely, the first thing I would do is pray and reaching out to people. And yeah, you did really good.
You got this.
So what should we do if we like see someone who seems lonely, or like we've been told they're lonely, or we think someone's hurting?
Again, reach out to them. You know, I feel like sometimes even when you do text, they probably won't respond. So be consistent in like just showing up for them, or hey, you know what? I'm gonna take you out to eat. Let's go. They're probably gonna say, oh, I'm not even ready. It doesn't matter. Come on, I'm gonna take you. Like push them into wanting better for themselves.
If I seen someone that was lonely, I think the first thing, like, reach out to them, like, hey, are you doing okay? And see what their response is. And I would say, like, go from there, and definitely be praying for that person. Yeah, and being there for them.
That's great. So thank you guys.